Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, so have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. When you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Alright y'all, welcome to Patrick Dugan Music. We are going to be learning Holly Jolly Christmas on the guitar today. Let's take a look. Alright, so this is kind of a shorter song. It's really just kind of like a verse and a little bit of a chorus and then back into a verse, but it all fits on one page here pretty well, so this is going to be a bit of an easier one in terms of song length, but some of these chords still might be a little bit difficult. Let's take a look at just what the chords are here. So the first two chords we're using is a C6 and a C major. So the C6 is kind of like an A minor chord. So if you already know an A minor shape, you can go ahead and grab that. And then we're just going to be adding the pinky finger here on 3rd fret string 5. But let me walk you through it from the top. So put your index finger on string number 2, 1st fret. Put your middle finger on string 4, 2nd fret. Put your ring finger on string 3, 2nd fret. And that's essentially an A minor chord, and then we're going to add our pinky finger onto string number 5, 3rd fret. Cool, and it should sound like this when you're all done. Go ahead and let go. Let's try that one again. So C6, you've got your index finger on string number 2, 1st fret. Middle finger's on string 4, 2nd fret. Ring finger's on string 3, 2nd fret. Then you're going to stretch your pinky over to string number 5, 3rd fret. So again, it looks kind of like an A minor chord, and you have your pinky up there on string number 5. Now what I'm doing here at the beginning, when I'm going from C6 to C major, C6 to C major, C6, when I'm going back and forth like that, what I'm actually doing is I'm going to be holding the chord, right? Let me move this microphone out of the way for a second. I'm going to be holding it like this, and I'm just going to be lifting my ring finger away and then putting it back down. Cool, so this is my C6. I lift this ring finger away, it becomes just a C major. Then I put the ring finger back on, C6, lift it away, C major. So in that first line, the first chord changes I'm doing is C6, C major, C6, C major, and then C6 again. Let me put the sheet back on the screen. Right, so taking a look at, right now we're just doing the first couple of chord changes there. So go ahead and grab that C6 chord shape again. Remember, it's fingers 1, 2, and 3 are going to resemble an A minor chord, and this last finger here is going to be your pinky finger on string number 5, 3rd fret. All right, so we're going to do 2 strums on C6, then 2 strums on C major. I'm just lifting the ring finger off. Then I'm going to put the ring finger back on for C6 again, lift it back off, and put it back on one more time. Cool, let's try that again. So go ahead and let go, find your way back to the C6, and here we go. 2, 3, 4 is C6, C major, C6, C major, then C6 again. Then we're going to switch to the next one, which is a C sharp diminished, and I'm missing something on here, which is that. This one is going to be up the neck a little bit. So for a C sharp diminished, go ahead, let's start with our middle finger. Put your middle finger on string number 5 on the 4th fret. So middle finger, string 5, 4th fret. Put your ring finger next on string number 4 on the 5th fret. Cool, then our index finger goes on string number 3 on the 3rd fret. And our pinky finger goes on string 2 on the 5th fret. So the fingering on the C sharp diminished, this may be a new chord for some people. Let me pencil this in. That's your ring finger there. Pinky finger there, this is going to be your index, and this is your middle finger over here. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see that. So the middle finger is lined up on the 4th fret. So go ahead and find your way back to the C sharp diminished 7. Try that one again. And let's let go, and let's try that one more time. C sharp diminished 7th. So I'm trying to avoid string number 6, or your top guitar string. I'm strumming strings 5 down. If you accidentally hit string 1, it's going to be okay on this one. But do try to avoid string 6 if you can. So that's a C sharp diminished 7. That one's going to be popping up a few times, so make sure that you have that under your fingers a little bit. Okay, and then up next is a G7. This one's a little bit more standard. I've got my index finger here on string number 1, 1st fret. Middle finger's on string 5, 2nd fret. Ring fingers on string 6, 3rd fret. Cool, strumming all the strings. All right, a few more chords to make it through. We have an F major. The shape I'm using is sort of like, it's a little bit of a bar chord, but I'm not barring all the way across. So I'm going to be holding down strings 1 and 2 on the 1st fret with my index finger. So I'm going to bar both of those strings there. I've got my middle finger is on string number 3, 2nd fret. My ring finger is up on string number 5, 3rd fret. And my pinky finger's on string 4, 3rd fret. I'm going to strum from the 5th string down here. Go ahead and let go. If you already know an F major chord, then that's probably no problem at all. If that's a new chord for you, then the barring with your index finger is most likely going to be a little difficult at first. That's totally normal. A lot of people struggle with the F chord or any of these bar chords when they're starting out, so that's a totally normal thing. This chord will get easier the more you play it. So let's try this one again. Put your index finger on the inside of the first fret, holding down strings 1 and 2. And just to show you here, we want to get this index finger, whenever you're doing this chord, you want to have your index finger positioned over towards the edge of this fret wire here. So I don't want to go on top, or I don't want to go over that, but I want to be right over there to the side. And then it's okay to curve this finger a little bit if you need to. And I'm pushing, you can see here, I'm pushing a little bit more on the side of this finger, the side that's closer to my thumb, because the surface of that, of the side of the finger is a little bit harder, a little bit tougher than the front part of your finger, which is just a little bit squishier there. So kind of rolling this onto the side of the finger just a hair to build this chord. Also make sure that when you're doing this F chord, my thumb is kind of lower on the back of the neck, and I have some space underneath here. Cool, so where people get into problems with the F chords is if their hand is really kind of cramped in tight here. And some people might hold it like this. In fact, I hold this chord like this sometimes, but the best way to learn this chord, you're going to have higher chance of success if you drop this thumb a little bit, push your wrist forward, and create that space right there. And then again, remember, I'm pushing a little bit more on the side of that finger. So that's how I'm doing it. Let me put that diagram back up. So one more time, find your way to the F chord. Try that again if you need to. All right, moving on. Up next is the E minor. You can use any 2 fingers you want for this. I'm going to use my index and my middle finger. So I have my index finger here on string 5, 2nd fret. My middle finger's on string 4, 2nd fret, strumming all the strings. Cool, so that one's pretty standard. A few chords left. A lot of these are kind of easier chords though. A7 is next. Again, we just need 2 fingers for this. You can either use your index and your middle, or your middle and your ring. Kind of depends on what the situation is. Let's see. When that chord pops up, what is it coming from? An E minor to an A7 to a D minor. So I would probably, if I was playing the E minor over here, and if I was using my index and my middle finger for this, then I'd probably leave my middle finger in place there on string number 4, and I'd play the A7 with middle finger, whoops, and ring finger. That way my middle finger can just stay in place. So put your middle finger on string number 4, 2nd fret, and place your ring finger on string number 2, 2nd fret. And then we're going to strum from the 5th string down. And that is an A7. Go ahead and let go. And let's try that one again. Middle finger's on string 4, 2nd fret. Ring finger's on string 2, 2nd fret. Strumming from the 5th string down. Okay, after that comes an A minor. Very standard chord here, you probably already know this one. Index finger's on string 2, 1st fret. Middle finger's on string 4, 2nd fret. Ring finger's on string 3, 2nd fret. And I'm strumming from the 5th string down. Right, and as I said earlier, the C6 chord uses those same 3 fingers in that same sort of position. Cool, so that's an A minor. D minor is up next. Index fingers on string 1, 1st fret. Middle fingers on string 3, 2nd fret. Ring fingers on string 2, 3rd fret. And we're going to strum this from the 4th string down. After that comes a D7, kind of a backwards triangle shape. Put your index finger on string 2, 1st fret. Middle finger goes on string 3, 2nd fret. And ring finger goes on string 1, 2nd fret. Strumming from the 4th string down. Alright, and last chord here, it's probably another new one. It's a G augmented chord. So if you see a plus symbol on a chord, or a chord diagram, it is an augmented chord, and that's just another type of a chord. When we augment something, to make something augmented, it means that we are raising the 5th of the chord by a half step. So in this case, the 5th of a G chord is the note D, and that would normally be an open D string right here, and we're going to raise that 1 fret by pushing down the 1st fret on string 4. Cool, so put your index finger on string 4, 1st fret. That's the D sharp, that's the 5th that we have raised. Okay, middle finger's on string 5, 2nd fret. Ring finger's on string 6, 3rd fret. Pinky is down on string 1, 3rd fret. So I'm going to strum all the strings here, and it's going to sound like this. So it kind of has an interesting sound to it. And that is an augmented chord. Let's try that again. So index finger is on string 4, 1st fret. Middle finger's on string 5, 2nd fret. Ring finger's on string 6, 3rd fret. Pinky's down on string 1, 3rd fret. Alright, so pausing there for a second, those are the chords we need. Alright, now let's see if we can put this together a little bit. So we're going to do the first 2 lines to begin with. Alright, so go ahead and grab the C6. Remember that's going to look and feel a whole lot like an A minor chord, but you're stretching your pinky over there on string 5. We're going to strum this twice, and then we're going to take the ring finger away, which turns it into a C major. We put the ring finger back down for a C6 again. Take the ring finger away for C major again. One more time, put the ring finger down for C6. Now it's time to switch to the C sharp diminished 7. So take a moment to make sure you get this chord right. This is on frets 3, 4, and 5. So my middle finger is lined up on the 4th fret here. And we're going to strum this 2 times when you're ready. Cool, and then that's it, and we're going out to a G7 chord. So find your way to G7 next for 4 strums. We're going on to the next line. The chord is still G7. We're going to do 6 more strums here. Switching back to the C sharp diminished 7. Remember your middle finger's on the 4th fret when you do this. And this only gets 2 strums. Then it's back to the G7 4 times. Then it's C major twice. Back to G7 twice. Alright, so pausing there for a second. There's a couple of things going on here. You have this opening thing with C6 and C major. We'll go over that again in a second. And then this C sharp diminished 7th chord pops up twice. So we have to be able to get into the C sharp diminished 7th chord quick enough that we can sort of play this in time. So that's probably going to be the trickiest chord for most people. Let's go over that beginning part with the C6 and the C major again real quick before we try this again. So go ahead and grab your C6, right? And I'll show you how I was doing this one more. So let me bring this camera down. Right, so I'm holding it. These 3 fingers look like an A minor. My pinky has to stretch up here. But what I'm going to be doing is just taking this finger off and then putting it back down. So this is C6. I lift this finger off, it's C major. So I'm going C6, C major, C6, C major, then C6 again. So that's how I'm doing that beginning part. Let me put the music back up. All right, so here's that part I was talking about. So go ahead and grab your C6. And let's try this together. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoops, you know what, sorry. Pause. Still have my camera down here. All right. One more time. Go ahead and grab that C6. 1, 2, 3, go is C6, C major, C6, C major, C6 one more time, switching to the C sharp diminished 7. Take a moment to get here. This is just going to be 2 strums. And then we're going to try to switch right away to G7. 4 times. Cool, now we can just stay on this G7. We're on the next line, and we're going to do 6 strums more. Switching back to the C sharp diminished 7. So take your time. Do your best with this one. It'll get easier. Then back to the G7 again, 4 times. Then it's going to be C major twice, G7 twice. Okay, pausing there for just a moment. Let's see if we can play those 2 lines with the lyrics. Cool, so grab your C6. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time. Find that C sharp diminished of the G7 year. Stay here. I don't know if there'll be switch C sharp diminished. Snow, back to G7, but have a cup of cheer. Cool, and then guess what? We're going to do that again for the next 2 lines. So we're back on C6. 1, 2, 3. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk, switch C sharp diminished. Down the G7 street, say hello to friends you switch back. No. To G7 again, and everyone you C major meet. Cool, now the next line is maybe a little bit easier. It's going to start on the F, so it depends on how you feel about Fs. So we're going to start on the F major, and let's just play through the chords real quick first. So go ahead and grab your F. This is going to get 4 strums. Cool, then 2 strums on E minor, 2 strums A7, 2 strums D minor. Keep your index finger in place, 2 strums G7, back to a C major 4 times. Next line is D minor 4 times, A minor 4 times, then D7 twice, A minor twice, G major twice, and you got to use fingers 2, 3, and 4 on this G major. And looks like I did not write a G major chord in my diagram here. I guess I'll do that real quick. There's always a chord I forget. So today it's the G major. But I'm guessing most of us know a G major, but we want to use fingers 2, 3, and 4 for this. So let me just diagram it real quick. Right, so it's just a G major chord, but we need to get the fingering, to be like 3rd finger here on string 6, 3rd fret, 2nd finger here on string 5, 2nd fret, and then this is going to be your pinky, down here. Circle's a little out of control there. So pinky finger here on string 1, 3rd fret. So this is the G that we're going to use. You know what, I will just do a text G. All right, so sorry about that. So we're going to do that G chord with fingers 2, 3, and 4 2 times. Then we need to add our index finger right here to get this G augmented chord. So that's why we're using the fingering here, is our index finger is free, and it's going to be going down on string 4, 1st fret. That's how we're going to get to that G augmented chord. Cool, so let's try it on the last 2 chords down here. So G major twice, add that index finger, strum it, and let it ring for a second. Cool, let's see if we can put together this whole section that we just went over. So it starts on an F. Let me scroll up so you can see the chords a little better. All right, so starting on the F again. 1, 2, 3, go is F 4 times, E minor twice, A7 twice, D minor twice, G7 twice, C. Next line, D minor 4 times, A minor 4 times, D7 twice, A minor twice, G major twice, G augmented. Cool, so that's what we're going for there. Let's try that with the lyrics. Cool, so give you just a minute to, if you need to brush up on any of those chords, go ahead and do so. Okay, here we go. On an F major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the mistletoe hung where can see. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. G augmented. And then we're going back to like what we did on the first two lines. So we're back on the C6 right here. 1, 2, 3. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you, C sharp diminished, didn't, G7, hear. Oh, back golly, have a. So now here's the ending here is going to be E minor, A minor, D7, G7, back to C6, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and we're done. So again, it's kind of a short song, but some of these chords might be new for you. Some of these chords might be sort of throwing you for a loop. It's probably the diminished 7th chord, maybe the C6 chord here, if you've never seen that one before, and perhaps the F major bar chord there. All right, so let's see if we can put the whole thing together. That might be a tall order for some people. Try to play along, see if you can just hit as many chords as you can. You can always rewind or hit the pause button if you need to. All right, so C6, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. 1, 2, 3. All right, so couple of things there. Yeah, that C sharp diminished 7th chord can be a little sloppy to get into, can be a little difficult there. You might have heard me, I kind of messed that one up the first time through. My fingers just did not quite get to where they needed to be. But that one you need to develop a little muscle memory for, so that your hand can sort of get into that shape a little faster. So a technique I use with students to help reinforce the muscle memory is simply grabbing the chord, letting go, grabbing the chord again, right? And then you can start saying, if this is the chord, can I let go just a little bit? Can I let go a little bit further? Can I let go all the way? We're just trying to train these fingers to sort of come down more or less at the same time. But that might take you, a few times of doing that. It's probably not going to happen in one sitting. So just be patient with that. All right, let's try the whole thing one more time, and then I think that'll be it. Here we go. So on a C6. Maybe a little quicker this time. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Cool, so that's about the size of it. That is Holly Jolly Christmas on guitar. Now, if you wanted to, you could simplify this a little bit. You could probably cut out most of these diminished seventh chords and have it still kind of sound like the same song. In fact, you could just do a C major here to a G7 here. You could do mostly C's and G7s for those first lines. Have a holly jolly Christmas. That's just a C. Best time of the year. G7. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Yeah, so you could simplify this quite a bit. You could cut out some things if you wanted to. On this bridge or this middle section here, I don't think you can really simplify this as much. Oh, the mistletoe where you can see. So I'd probably stick with that one, but let's play that one the way it is what I meant. But in this first part here, if you wanted to simplify it, you could make it mostly C major and G7, and that would probably get the job done. All right, but these diminished seventh chords kind of add some nice color, some nice flavor in there. So I think they sound nice, and you're probably going to encounter a diminished seventh chord again at some point. It's not the most common chord, but it does pop up. Cool, so that's about the size of it. That's Holly Jolly Christmas on the guitar. All right, so once again, happy holidays. Thanks for watching my channel here. Thanks for supporting Patrick Dugan Music. And I will, that's it for this lesson, but I'm gonna see if I can take you guys, play you one last little thing as we wind down here.
The people too, I mess around. They're doing the mess around. They're doing the mess around. Everybody doing the mess around. Now, when I say stop, don't you move a peg. When I say go, just shake your leg and do the mess around. I declare, do the mess around. Now let me have it, that boy. Now this band's gonna play from
lesser than. Looking outside, the weather's beginning to clear up now. Hope you're enjoying your evening. We're coming up on half past the hour.
Alright, so that's about all I got for you tonight. Oops. Happy holidays, everyone. I'll see you next time.